In this video, I break down 3 SPX option trades that produce $3,100 in total profit per option in a single trading session. I reveal the exact daily scalping strategy I use, showing the precise entries, stop levels, option strike selection, and target exits for each trade using a structured level-based SPX strategy designed to be repeatable from session to session. All trades were executed using the day trading GPS SPX daily key levels V 3.0 indicator, a framework specifically designed for trading SPX 0DTE and 1DTE options. The indicator automatically generates daily SPX key levels before each session, which are used to identify trade entries, stop loss levels, and target exits. This creates a repeatable daily trading framework that helps traders execute both quick scalp trades as well as regular day trades for capturing and managing larger directional moves level to level for greater profit potential during the session. If you're skeptical right now, that's good. You should be. Take a look at these reviews and feedback from traders using the indicator and the SPX daily key level strategy, and then we'll dive straight into the setups and the trading strategy. Okay, so for those of you who might be wondering, well, how is this working for people that have purchased the daily key levels indicators? You can go to daytradinggps.com and look at the user reviews and feedback. We've just taken some of them here and highlighted parts of them, but we invite you to go to daytradinggps.com and look at the reviews and trader feedback on our various daily key levels indicators, including the SPX daily key levels indicator. Thank you. Hello, in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Wednesday, March 4th, 2026 trading session for the SPX CBOE index. We'll be utilizing the Day Trading GPS Daily Key Levels V 3.0 indicator, which is the newest version of this indicator, which was just released a few weeks ago. Okay, today's session is going to be a lot shorter than usual, and this is going to be a condensed video. So, as mentioned in the preview, please look in the description of this video for links to longer session videos which go over how this indicator works in more detail, as well as the different types of trades that you can take with this indicator, scalps and regular trades, and other various aspects of this indicator. Also, there's links to a Google Drive link that will have links to specific topics, videos on certain topics regarding the indicator as well. And there's also links to the new video of the newest version of this indicator, the V 3.0 version, which was a step up from the previous V 2.0 version. And that goes over all the new features that were added in the V 3.0 version. Okay, so in today's video, we're just going to be taking a look at scalp trades. So some of our subscribers have asked me to do a video that's just on scalping, that a lot of people prefer scalping only versus trying to do extended move trades. So in today's video, we're going to look at doing multiple scalp trades per session as in contrast to doing regular trades, which require a minimum threshold move that is longer than scalp trades. So we're going to be taking a look at doing multiple scalp trades, and this is how you can, another way you can profit from this indicator, just doing multiple scalp trades throughout the session, as they only require a one level move in your favor, and you can still make just as much money typically doing multiple scalp trades throughout the session than you can just with one longer extended move trade, one or two of those. It just really depends on user preference and trader preference as to what style of trading the user prefers. Some traders prefer quick scalp in and out trades, and other traders prefer to do extended move trades and scale out and manage runners level to level, and they're looking for moves that are going to be anywhere from 1.5 levels up to 2, 3, or even 4 levels or beyond, depending on what kind of volatility we have in the session. Okay, so today we have 3 scalp trades, starting with the 9:30 a.m. opening candle, which closes below today's bull bear key price level given by the indicator of 68.4470. So this is the opening 9:30 a.m. candle. We're on a 2-minute chart, which if you're using this indicator for our daily key levels trading strategy, then that is the recommended time frame to use. However, you can also use time frames between 1 minute and 5 minutes. However, if you look at all of our SPX session videos, we're always using the 2-minute time frame, as we found this to be the most consistent performer for this particular daily key levels strategy. Okay, as you see here, we have an alert label that came up for the 9:30 a.m. BBKPL for a close below on the 9:30 a.m. candle. This filter is a special filtered alert that's only for the 9:30 a.m. BBKPL level, and it also comes with an acceptable range filter, which basically keeps you out of bad trades. So what that acceptable range filter does is that it is set to a certain percentage that if the close of the candle is within that certain percentage or less, and that candle closes above or below the current session BBKPL level, then it will give you this alert label that's either a close above or a close below as your bullish entry signal if it's close above, or a bearish entry signal as in the case of this session if it is a close below. Now this 9:30 a.m. opening candle trade is an optional trade under using this indicator. It's not mandatory that you take the opening candle trade. However, for those people that prefer to get running the action right off the bat, right with the 9:30 a.m. opening candle, this alert helps you gauge whether to get into either a bullish entry or a bearish entry if you're going to take an entry on that particular candle. With this indicator, you can take trades off of the main key levels, which are the bull bear KPL level here, or the R levels above the BBKPL, the R1 through R6 levels, which as you can see we have down here. We've zoomed out so you're not seeing all 6 levels above and 6 levels below. Also, you have the S1 through S6 levels below. The midpoint levels and the QL levels serve different purposes. Those are not for taking trades off of. They serve different purposes for using with this daily key level strategy. So you can either take trades off of those main key levels, or you can also take trades off of the PMH, which is the pre-market high, the YDH, which is the yesterday's daily high of the RTH session yesterday, YDC, which is yesterday's daily close of the RTH session yesterday, the PML level, which is the pre-market low for the current session. Of course, the PMH was the pre-market high for the current session. And then we also have the YDL level, which is out of range on this particular screen because it was way far below the PML, and we were just zooming in for the start of the session, basically R2 through S2, as you can see here. So with the start of the session, you typically want to go over to your right price axis, and you want to zoom out and expand your chart by right-clicking, or excuse me, left-clicking and holding, and then moving up your chart so that you're zoomed out and expanded more granular view of, say, R2 through S2, at least for the beginning of the session, because most of your initial trades are going to be based off of the bull bear key price level and basically from R2 to S2. And then if price happens to move outside R2 or S2, then you would simply go over to the price axis and you would scroll out to continue following price action through the other levels. Now with this particular indicator, the levels for the PMH, YDH, YDC, PML, and YDL levels, you have an integrated stop loss and reward risk multiplier built into the indicator for utilizing either standard stop losses or tight stop losses and then setting your reward to risk parameters for bullish or bearish trades off of those levels. However, for trades with the main key levels, either the SPX bull bear key price level or the R1 through R6 levels or S1 through S6 levels, the midpoint levels and the QL levels are your standard stop losses and tight stop losses for those levels. However, with the other levels, the PMH, the PML, YDH, YDL, and YDC levels, we have an integrated section in the user control panel where you would select either doing a bullish or bearish trade off of those levels. Then you select whether to use you prefer to use a tight stop loss or a standard stop loss. And then you select your reward risk multiplier, which can be anywhere from the default, which is 2 to 1, so that's $2 of reward for every dollar of risk of the stop loss, or it can go all the way up to 30 if you're looking to do an extended move trade, and those are in 0.25 increments. It also can go below the standard default 2.00 all the way down to 0.25 for those people that prefer to do micro scalps. So again, those would be from the full range of reward risk from 0.25 all the way up to 30, just depending on your trading style and what type of trade you're looking to do with those particular levels. However, today we're just focusing on trades off of the main key levels. Again, the bull bear KPL level, the R levels, and the main S levels. Okay, so opening trade, scalp trade number one is a scalp trade off of a bearish trade off of the bull bear key price level on this 9:30 a.m. opening candle. It does close below, even though we have a wick above. The most important aspect of this candle is that it closes below the bull bear KPL level on the opening candle, so that is your bearish entry signal should you wish to take the 9:30 a.m. opening candle trade. Now your stop loss on this bearish trade, you have two choices, either the QL above, the level you're taking the trade off of, the bull bear KPL, that's your tight stop loss on this bearish trade, or your standard stop loss is the midpoint level above the bull bear key price level, the mid BBKPL R1. So that's trader's choice whether you prefer to take the standard or the tight stop loss on this trade. Your exit is going to be on a scalp trade, a one level move in your favor. A one level move in your favor on a bearish trade from the bull bear KPL is going to be one full level down. That's going to be the S1 level for today's session. Okay, so we have the opening trade here, the scalp bearish trade. We have our stops. Now, as far as option strikes, you do have three different option strikes that you can use on any bullish or bearish trade off of the main key levels with this indicator. However, in today's session, this is going to be a condensed session. We're only going to look at the standard play, which is the at the money option strike, which is closest to the price of the level you're taking the trade from. I will show you how to do the other out of the money strikes here as well. But just to keep in mind, this is going to be a condensed session, so we're only going to use for these scalps today, we're only going to look at the standard play, which is going to be the strike closest to the level that we're taking the trade from. So in this case, the level we're taking the trade from, the BBKPL is 68.4470. So the closest strike to that is going to be the 68.45 strike, and of course it's going to be a put option since this is a bearish play. The ask price on the 9:30 a.m. candle close, of course we're on a 2-minute chart, so that would be the 9:30 closing at 9:32, is 28.90. So here's the ask price on that candle close. You're waiting for the candle close to confirm direction. So you don't want to enter on a intra candle. You're waiting for the close of the candle to make sure of the directional bias here on this candle close. Okay, so as you can see here, at 10 minutes later on the 9:40 a.m. candle here, we have a hit of the S1 level. So that is our one level move in our favor for a scalp only exit. So with this indicator scalps, you're basically doing a quick in and out. So on scalps, generally what you're doing is you are exiting 100% of your position. And that is our recommendation. Of course, it's up to every trader to decide how they would prefer to handle it. If you want to see if you want to turn this scalp into a regular trade and start scaling out and managing it, especially if you're doing multiple contracts. Of course, that's up to every trader's individual preference. However, our recommendation is that on scalps that you exit 100% no matter how many contracts you have, because we're simply looking for the quick in and out. So we want to get in and then we want to be 100% out, and then we want to look to see if there is another trade opportunity that presents itself for another trade. Okay, so in this case we have at the 9:40, we have the bid price on the candle close here. So the bid on this 9:40 a.m. candle close is $40.50. So that is a profit of $1,160 per option on the scalp trade. The next trade opportunity here is a scalp trade entry on this 9:50 a.m. candle here, which occurs after we exited this trade. You could also have entered here on this candle close or here. However, this ideally is the confirmation close here. We have the one close here. On the BBKPL, we're looking for the one close. However, trades afterwards, you can either do an aggressive trade, which would be more of a standard play, which would be just a one candle close above, or a more conservative play is to wait for a second candle close in the direction that you're trading. So that again is up to trader's choice. You also could have entered here or here or here or here on those, but generally speaking, you would want to enter either on the first if you're a more aggressive trader, or if you want to be more conservative, then you would wait for an additional confirmation. So in this case, the 9:50 a.m. candle is this candle here. And of course, we have this long wick here, which also they tried to drive it back down to the yesterday's daily close level. They were unsuccessful in doing that, and it closed above S1. So this is a good entry here on a close above the S1 level. So here we have a bullish trade entry on the S1 level on the 9:50 a.m. candle close. Stop loss on this trade is either the QL below S1 for your tight stop loss, or the standard stop loss, if you prefer to use that, would be the mid S1, S2 level. That's the first midpoint level below the main level you're taking the bullish trade from. The standard play on this, same process. You are basically taking your price of the level that you're entering the trade on, in this case the 68.2164, and you're using the closest strike to that, which would be 68.20, and in this case, since it's a bullish entry, it is a call option. Now, just to briefly, as I said, show you the other two options that you would have on any particular trade, there would be two out of the money options. So in this case, since this is a bullish trade, if you prefer to use an out of the money option on this bullish trade from the S1 level, your first out of the money option on this bullish trade would be looking to the first midpoint above the level you're taking the trade from. In this case, 68.3317 is this level here. And so 68.35 would be your first out of the money option to consider. Your furthest out of the money option to consider on this bullish trade from S1 would be one full level above. That's the bull bear KPL level, 68.4470. So that would be a 68.45 call option on this trade. However, and as we mentioned earlier, we're just going to look at the standard play, which is the at the money option closest strike to the price of the level we're taking the trade from, 68.2164. So that's going to be the 68.20 call option. Here we have the ask price of the 9:50 a.m. candle close, which is 24.90. Here we have scalp trade number 2 exit. This happens 18 minutes later on this hit of the BBKPL level. So again, on a scalp trade, you're looking for a one level move in your favor. This is the level we're taking the bullish trade from. One level up from that is the bull bear KPL level. So here we have the hit of the BBKPL level, one level move in our favor. And here the bid price on that 10:08 a.m. candle close is 36 even, so that profit is $1,110 per option on this scalp. Now our third trade entry here happens to be on this particular candle here. Now you could also enter on this candle here, which also closes above, or this candle here, which also closes above, or even this candle here, which also closes above, as they are all within the acceptable range. However, this is your first opportunity here on this 10:12 a.m. candle closing above the BBKPL. In this particular case, our stop loss on this trade, since our trade is from the bull bear KPL level, our tight stop loss will be the QL level below the BBKPL. If you prefer to use the standard stop loss, it's the first midpoint level below the level we're taking the bullish trade on. So that is going to be this midpoint level here, mid BBKPLS1. The standard play on this option play is going to be from this bullish entry from the BBKPL. The closest strike to 68.4470, which is the 68.45 call option. And here we have the ask price on this 10:12 a.m. candle close, 22.70. Here at 10:22 a.m., we have scalp trade number 3 exit. So we have a one level move from the center here up to the R1 level. That is a one level move in our favor. We're looking above, since it's a bullish trade from this level, one level move here. Hit of the R1, one level move in our favor, scalp exit. 68.45 call, bid on the candle close of this 10:22 a.m. Candle $31.40. That's a profit of $8.70 per option. Now keep in mind that most of your moves are going to happen with SPX. Now, this is not 100%, but on most days, most of your moves are going to happen between, say, the open and the first hour and a half to 2 hours of the session. Then we go into lunchtime, and then we go into afternoon, and then obviously later afternoon to the close. So with this particular indicator, especially if you're doing scalps, most of your scalp trades are going to happen in the first couple of hours of the session. So just keep that in mind. Later on in the session, if you've accumulated profits, we do have a lotto options strategy. That is for the lotto option window that starts at 2 p.m. and entries for the lotto option strategy run from 2 p.m. all the way to 3:45 p.m. Of course, the close is at 4 p.m. So the entry window for the lotto option strategy ends around 3:45 p.m. or so, and that gives us still 15 minutes for last minute lotto option trades if we happen to take an entry as late as 3:45. Usually most of your better lotto options opportunities are going to come between, say, the 3:30ish to 3:45 p.m. 15-minute window. Now we do have a pretty long SPX session video which goes over the full lotto option strategy, and that link is also in the description of this video if you want to take a look at that. Then you can also take a look at the rules for the lotto option strategy and how the lotto option strategy works. What are the rules? What are the risk parameters, etc. Okay, so on today we have 3 scalp trades. Each was a 1-level move in our favor for 100% exit. Scalp trade number 1 was a bearish scalp from the BBKPL level to S1. We're basically in this trade for 10 minutes, $1,160 profit per option using the standard at the money play. Scalp trade number 2, bullish scalp S1 to BBKPL. In the trade for 18 minutes, $1,110 profit per option. Scalp trade number 3, BBKPL to R1, 10-minute trade, $870 per option. 3 trades total gross profit $3,140 per option before any slippage, commissions, if you happen to pay commissions at your particular brokerage, or any clearing fees, which of course SPX, also the CBOE exchange has clearing fees, which are fairly minor per option contract, but nevertheless, you have to factor those in, including any slippage and any possible commissions you may pay for your broker for any option trades. If you'd like to see more information about the SPX Daily Key Levels Indicator, please look in the description of this video. You'll see these different links here. One is a video overview of the indicator. The second one is the new features video for the SPX Daily Key Levels V3.0 version, which was just released a few weeks ago. Third, you have additional resources. That's Google Drive link is for descriptions, links to videos on different topics about the indicator. And lastly, a link to a video that goes into more detail about the indicator and the daily key levels trading strategy. And that also goes into our additional SPX Lotto options strategy at the end of that video as well. If you're interested in purchasing this indicator, you can request a discount promo code to use to purchase lifetime access to the SPX Daily Key Levels V3.0 indicator by sending us an email at daytradinggps@gmail.com requesting the discount promo code. Thank you.